with your Lordship's leave, if permitted, before going into the controversy, in terms of composition of judges, in terms of composition of benches, your Lordships have already passed an order and that issue is no longer open. But may I just draw your Lordship's attention to a judgment where an objection was raised to judges on the ground that they ought not to sit in the bench, and the full court of the Supreme Court dealt with the issue. The case is reported as Federation of Pakistan versus Muhammad Akram Sheikh. This is PLD 1989 Supreme Court 689. The background, while your Lordships are getting the books, the background to this case is that your Lordships will recall that in the Haji Saifullah case, the Supreme Court had said that the Constitution does not envisage the government of the country to be run even for a day without a Prime Minister. After that declaration by the Supreme Court, but during that period when there was no Prime Minister, a number of appointments to the Supreme Court had been made. Several judges were appointed to the Supreme Court. When the political dispensation changed, an application was made by the Attorney General that 3 of the judges of the Supreme Court who had been promoted or elevated from the High Court to the Supreme Court should not hear this matter. And the objection taken was that they were appointed at the time when there was no Prime Minister in the country, and consequently they could not have been appointed in view of Haji Saifullah's case, and that ought not to be heard, that matter ought not to be heard by them because they were the beneficiaries. This court, full court of the Supreme Court, sitting over here, specifically rejected that argument. Your Lordships will see that they mentioned the principle and the observation of the submission of the Attorney General on page 700 of the judgment. Then their Lordships on page 705 in paragraphs 22 and 25 dealt with the issue. Page 705, paragraphs 22 and 25. A review of decided cases by courts of our own country amply demonstrate this. In the case of Farzand Ali, PLD 1970, Supreme Court 98, the very competence of the legislature as then constituted to make constitutional amendments was questioned, and one such amendment was the 4th Amendment to the Constitution by Act 15 of 1965, where the disability of the judges of the High Court to be appointed judges of the Supreme Court under Article 126, Clause 1, Para A was removed. The judges of the Supreme Court who, but for this amendment, would have suffered from the disability, participated in the decision and upheld the amendment. Paragraph 25. These are but only a few of the cases illustrative of the point, and more can be found and cited, where the whole legal order is being challenged and the judges functioning within the frame of the legal order under challenged are called upon to render judgment. The question of there being a personal bias of being a judge in his own cause, of having a legal or pecuniary interest in the matter, does not arise. The matter was left to the learned judges, and the question was decided by referring paragraph 32, my lord, page 708, and paragraph 33. The first line of paragraph 32, the ground of general unspecified bias now put forward cannot be allowed to prevail. Paragraph 33, the law on the subject of general bias attributed to judges of superior courts has been fully dealt with in the case of Islamic Republic of Pakistan versus Mr. Abdul Wali Khan, PLD 1976, Supreme Court 57, at pages 188-189 in the following words. As regards the objection taken to the constitution of the bench, learned counsel were informed on the very first day that no party to a litigation can claim the right to be tried by a particular judge or judges of his choice. In the case of superior courts, it is entirely a matter for the judge or judges concerned to decide as to whether they will or will not sit in that particular case. That was the principle settled and laid down, has not been deviated from, and this was a judgment given in the circumstances. So those three judges also sat. The learned Chief Justice had individually, privately inquired from them earlier, and that's also in the judgment, whether they would be embarrassed in any manner by hearing or deciding this case, and the Lordship has said no.
इसमें मखदूम साहब, आज की जो सिनेरियो है, आज की जो पोजीशन है, इनिशियली 13 मेंबर्स बेंच था,
Sir,
अब रह गए 12 मेंबर्स बेंच.
my lord.
यहाँ जो आप केस लॉ साइड कर रहे हैं उसमें एडिशन हुआ है, यहाँ पर एक सब्सट्रैक्ट हो रहा है एक मेंबर.
My lord, may I also point out to that, this was on the issue of bias, that the judges who were appointed at a particular period of time or under a constitutional dispensation when called upon to adjudicate an issue cannot be challenged on that ground that as a result of this constitutional dispensation they were brought onto the bench. As far as the size of the bench is concerned, your lordship's observation probably relates to that. My lord, the question would be, in a given circumstances, for a moment, let us ignore that this is a constitutional bench. For a moment, let us assume that this is a Supreme Court, sitting as a full court. Let us for a moment assume. On that assumption, if only less than 13 number of judges agree to hear a case and the others recuse themselves, does that mean the judgment cannot be considered at all in review jurisdiction? That's a full court judgment. Can it be reviewed or not? What is a full court in the circumstances?
The rule says as far as practicable.
And
practicability has to be considered whether it is possible or not.
Yes, and the
cannot increase. This is impossible.
And the Supreme Court has answered it. The Supreme Court has answered it by saying the full court means all the available judges of the Supreme Court. The definition of full court is not all the judges. Now you have a constitutional...
No, that was not a full court. A 13 members bench was hearing this case. Original side.
Yes, Justice Hilali was not there. It was not a full court. But my lord, look at the US Supreme Court. The total number of judges is 9. If one judge recuses himself, then can the case not be heard? It is heard by 8 judges, it is heard by 7 judges. When members recuse themselves, then all the remaining judges of the court become the full court. My lord, there are some courts which sit as a whole, like the US Supreme Court. There are other courts which do not sit as a whole, they sit in benches, like this Honorable Court, like the Supreme Court of India, like the Supreme Court of United Kingdom, like the Supreme Court of Canada, like the High Court of Australia. They don't sit en banc. They never sit as a whole court together. They sit in benches. The question is that what is today, in today's circumstances, the full court which can hear the review petition? If the 26th and the 26th Amendment is not under challenge over here, references have been made under Article 191A, the full court available or all the judges available under the 26th Amendment of the Constitution, and the matter now falls within the domain of the constitutional jurisdiction and constitutional jurisdiction of the constitutional bench of this Honorable Court, are all the judges of the constitutional bench who are available. There are some judges who have been nominated to the constitutional bench, but they cannot sit on this bench because they had earlier rendered a judgment when they were sitting as judges of the High Court. Two of the judges of the constitutional bench have already decided the case. They have already dismissed the review petitions, so they are therefore not on the bench. One judge has now recused himself. In these circumstances, what would happen? Will the court now disband itself till another judge of the Supreme Court is appointed and then appointed to the constitutional bench and then hears the case? If that principle were to be followed, then the number of judges of the Supreme Court changes with time. It can be increased given the exigencies of work, demands of time. It can at times be decreased. Let us say today the full court sits and X number of judges decide a matter. There are review petitions may be pending, but some of the judges may retire and the parliament under the constitutional scheme reduces the total strength of the Supreme Court. Does that mean those cases cannot be reviewed? They will be reviewed. They will be reviewed by lesser number of judges insofar as all the available judges are there. That's the words, those are the words used by the Supreme Court in PLD 1998, Supreme Court 161. And the relevant portion is at page 192.
192.
192. This is, my lord, answer to my lord Mr. Syed Hassan Azhar Rizvi's question. The lordship will see the second paragraph from the top of the page, just before paragraph number 6. Out of the 17 judges of this court, which constituted full court, Mr. Justice Shahjad Ali Shah could not sit on the bench as he is one of the respondents in these cases. The next senior judge, Mr. Justice Ajmal Mian, declined to sit on the bench as he was of the view that his personal interest is involved in the cases. Therefore, while constituting the full court under the direction of division bench of this court, which passed order to this effect in Constitution Petition number 1P of 1997, the full court comprising remaining 15 judges was constituted. However, one of the judges, Mr. Justice Mukhtar Ahmed Junejo, not only declined to participate in the full court proceedings, but he proceeded on leave up to 23rd of December 1997. The remaining four honorable judges were requested on 1st and 2nd December to attend the full court proceedings, but they declined to sit on the full court sitting constituted under the orders of the division bench in Constitution Petition number 1P of 1997. In these circumstances, the remaining 10 judges of this court constituted the full court in law, as no judge could be compelled against his wish to participate in the full court proceedings. The full court proceedings went on from day to day from 2nd December 97, and it was only on 15th December 97, when the proceedings were nearing to a close, that a written request was made on behalf of the respondent number 2 to include the remaining judges also in the full court proceedings, which could not be allowed in the above circumstances. We accordingly overruled the objection regarding incompetency of the bench to hear these cases and reject the petition under Order 33, Rule 6 of the Supreme Court rules filed on behalf of respondent number 2. Your Lordship may see page 207, paragraph 13. Towards the middle of the page. This is the ninth line beginning. This is towards the last 2 words of the line. Another cause list of full court consisting of 15 judges was also issued on 2nd December 1997, and all the above petitions were listed for hearing before the full court. However, when the full court assembled for hearing on 2nd December 97, only 10 honorable judges out of 15 opted to sit on the full court hearing, while the remaining 5 judges decided not to attend the full court but to sit on the two other benches constituted by the Honorable Chief Justice, parenthesis begin, under restraint, parenthesis over, presided over by him. While the full court consisting of 10 judges was hearing the above permission, the Attorney General sought permission to interrupt the proceedings to inform the court that whatever happened. But this the background, my lord. Then page 224. Paragraph 32. Page 224, my lord. Paragraph 32, sideline J. We may mention here that a full court hearing does not necessarily require presence of all the judges of the court on the bench. If some of the judges of the court are not available or decline to sit on bench for some reason, the remaining judges of the court would constitute the quorum of the full court. And then a few lines down, my lord, in these circumstances, the remaining 10 judges of the court properly constituted the quorum for the full court. If your lordship turns to page 225, sideline K, it is a well-established practice that a judge having once declined to hear a case could not be asked to hear that case. In these circumstances, both for the reason that the remaining honorable judges have declined in the first instance to sit on the full court session to hear these cases, could not be included on the bench on the rule of propriety, especially when the request for their inclusion on the bench was made by a party to the proceedings. This is a judgment, my lord, which has stood the test of time, and it, my lord, meets the requirements.
This is one legal question which you have answered. Another question is that whether the case decided by the 13 members can be decided by 12 members, because in review, these are not the cases of the review jurisdiction.
Yes, I will come to that as well. I will cite some further cases on the next date of hearing, but may I also point out that what has happened on account of the 26th Amendment to the Constitution. Now this review under the 26th Amendment can only be heard by a Constitution bench of the Supreme Court. Prior to the 26th Amendment, this review could be heard by 13 judges of the court or by the entire court. Now, on account of this change in the Constitution, the bench has changed. Now, I will not go into the question because I will not deal with any of the political questions or political arguments made. Why the review petition was not heard earlier, certain reasons were given, but there are other reasons which are to be found, and your lordships can see them, in the separate note of Mr. Justice Qazi Faiz Issa, the Chief Justice of Pakistan, as he then was, and it is part of the judicial record of this Honorable Court in the reported judgment why the review petition was not heard. But moving away from that, not going into one set of circumstances or another, where your lordship now has a constitutional position that a case can only be heard by a constitution bench, and the size of the bench available of all the judges of the constitutional bench.
There is a judgment of constitutional bench that whatever judges are available, they are full court.
Yes,
Judgment
that's
of,
it.
unanimous judgment of.
So the full constitutional bench, in light of Asad Ali and the judgment of the constitutional bench itself, is all the available judges of the constitutional bench. So the numerical strength becomes different.
Suppose if tomorrow Judicial Commission announced the strength of the the constitutional benches, of course the committee can add some more judges. But if there is no additional judge, we cannot. We have no jurisdiction under the Constitution to increase the strength. So we have to rely upon the number of judges who are available.
Absolutely.
Despite the fact that I will certainly want to include all the judges in it, but the jurisdiction has to be exercised within the parameter of the Constitution. We cannot go beyond the Constitution. We are bound by it.
Break करें. We are taking break. 2 o'clock we'll resume the court hearings.
आप जब तक वो इस पे भी देख लें कि अगर रिव्यू में क्या जो कम नंबर के बेंचेस के जजेस होंगे क्या रिव्यू कर सकते हैं या नहीं कर सकते हैं, क्या सर्कमस्टांसेस होंगे और हमारी कोशिश ये कि आज हम इसको डिसाइड करें.
Thank you. 2 o'clock.